Hello, my name is Grian, and today I'm going to be showing you 10 bedroom designs. What I've done is laid out a series of 10 boxes, and all on the inside is a bunch of tips and tricks for a certain kind of room. Some of these you may have seen before in previous videos, but the idea is to get the overall effect. So let's start with the first one, which is more of an old English bedroom. As you can see, everything is made of wood in very traditional style. You know, they used to have these panel walls where you'd get these like little inlets, which I've tried to recreate using staircase blocks in various shapes, and you can just place them on the side. It does make your walls of your rooms very thick, however the effect is quite nice and you get quite a detailed room. You can also put lots of shape into a room like this with the roof. As you can see, I made a sort of curved roof, and you can see that I have made a 4-poster bed, which is of course very traditional, especially sort of in the 1800s, 1900s. And I've sort of added lots of little bits of furniture, and I've added, well, I tried to add some curtains using barrier blocks using red banners. Obviously there's little gaps in them, so it's not exactly perfect, but the effect is good nonetheless. And as you can see, there are little bits of furniture, carpets, and what I want to point out is that the colour is all the same. So let's move on to the next room, which as you can tell is drastically pink. Using jungle wood and as many pink blocks as possible, I have tried to create a girl's bedroom. Obviously pink for the girl's bedroom, and you can see the bed design here is utilizing item frames with a map that has just been covered with pink. So if you just place the item frame, you can then put the map on top and you can decorate a lot of things. It doesn't just have to be a bed, but you can see how I've utilized it for this little thing. And there's a wardrobe, bunch of like pink flowers, everything in this room is pink. I tried to create it as girly as possible, but I think the effect got across just fine. And here we have sort of just a normal bedroom. I really actually like this one. It's got a lot of nice little features. The window perhaps is the dominating part of the room, but these shelves also with some nice detail in them. And what I want to point out is the walls. The walls look really fantastic with the quartz pillar and stained clay on top, mixed in with a nice shade of roof colour with the sandstone. It all complements each other, and the palette of colour for this room is actually really nice. Mixed in with a few paintings here and there, it really has a nice overall effect. I wouldn't mind having that as a bedroom in one of my houses. Next up, we have something kind of similar but laid out in a different way. This is more of a modern room, and what I want to point out here is how this single pillar makes a big difference, because it means that this desk can be inlet into it. That space there is utilized with the shelves, and it's very nice. And here we have a nice ice mirror, which you could actually put another replica of the room on the other side to complete the mirror effect, as I'll show you later. But as you can see, there are lots of cool things about this room, and one of the biggest ones is that we have two different color walls, the purple and the green, which of course complement each other, along with stuff like the piano, the windows, and of course that lovely bed utilizing fence gates. It all looks really nice and works well together. Next up, we have more of a sandstone build. You know that I always like to complete a build series with at least one desert thing. So we have a nice bed which is thinner. It hasn't really got a mattress, but it is utilizing carpet on top of fence gate and fences, along with lights in the roof and your general kind of furniture just around the house, but it all works together. The birch wood and the sandstone work really well together. Next up, we have something kind of similar, however we have decided not to use just a square room, and we're introducing lots of potted plants with some light under it, which helps obviously light up the room. But one of the biggest things about this room is the walk-in wardrobe, where you can just come in, take a look around, and you know, you could keep some chests in here, even create a nice wardrobe using some sort of door. I prefer jungle doors because they look like a wardrobe door. But one of the good things about this room is the use of log and stained clay. Instead of the quartz and stained clay, the log and the stained clay work really well together, and you can see along the top in the ceiling there's been the use of staircase blocks just to relieve that 90-degree cut. Next up, we have possibly my favourite design here. We have a attic room. And one of the things that is nice about here is like the little fireplace, which is actually made from armor stands, and I'll quickly show you how you do this. You simply just create a small pillar, stand around it and twizzle round and place them, and they all fall into the same place, creating this sort of fake wooden fireplace, and you can just get rid of them as you please. And back to the room, there's a few things I want to point out, and there's a couple of things that really stand out. One of them is the walls. The combination of the stained clay and the bricks really make it atmospheric in here. It really complements all the colours of the wood, along with that slanted roof, which is the all-important thing about making this an attic roof. Look how nice this looks. It actually really feels like an attic with the textures and the fireplace, although you wouldn't really get a fireplace in the attic, but you get my point. Everything in here matches and complements each other. And next up, just as we had the girls' room, this one here is designed for a kid or a little boy or whatever, because we have a bed that is shaped like a car. I find this, you know, quite sweet if you want that kind of thing, but one of the main things to get this correct is the bright colours. The red, the yellows, they all work together, and it really does seem like a child's bedroom. So that's how I would approach it if I was making a child's bedroom. So we decided that a lot of the rooms here were just square. So this room is in fact circular, and you can have wardrobes with your clothes in them or leather armor or whatever. And we decided to make this a little bit more circular, and as you can see, utilizing all of the little inlets is important when you're doing something shaped. So you can see all the wardrobes, the desk, the shelves, all of them are inlet into these little things around the circle, and then of course the bed is the centerpiece as it normally is, or it's tucked away in a corner. And all these little things really go for a nice room, and as you can see, all the colours are again complementary. That's very important when you're doing palette. And finally, we have a more modern design. It's not very well lit, so I'll just put a couple of sea lanterns, which is my favourite kind of light, and it is a nice design here. So, as you can tell, a lot of the colours again are complementary. Your greys and your whites go together. But I decided to add some more oddly shaped furniture. So I've got this sort of S-shaped bookshelf, which is sort of inlet into a pillar that juts out of the wall. When you're making a bedroom, try not to think too squarely, although all these designs are squares, but you try and like put a pillar or two, or just an outlet or something. And then of course, here is that mirror I was talking about, and you can actually see the reflection through. Obviously this is just false perception, there is a room on the other side of the glass. And then you have all the little tips and tricks that we've been going over. It's all about how you place your furniture, what your colour palette is, and how you lay out the room. What people tend to do that is wrong is just shove a load of paintings everywhere. You need to find the right painting. Like, you need to find the ones that fit for your room. So for example, that one doesn't really fit. Smaller ones tend to be nicer. Just these like little ones, see that one kind of fits, it's in a nice place. You need to make sure that everything in your room complements everything else in the room, so that you can get an overall atmospheric effect. So the roof needs to be good, the floor needs to have the right colour, the walls need to have some sort of consistency to them. So hopefully you've learned a few things just by seeing these designs here today. And, you know, it's almost like IKEA in Minecraft right there. This is my showroom of bedrooms. And I need to thank two people that I've recently become friends with, and they have joined my crew, Botbox and Ajustme. They helped create a lot of these rooms along with me to try and show off some inspiration for your houses, because I know a lot of you do struggle with interior and I don't focus on it too much. So how would you guys like a series that goes a little bit like this? I show off a bunch of designs and try and spark some imagination and find something that fits your house, and you can sort of employ the designs of the furniture and the layout and the palette in your own designs. If you do, leave a comment below and tell me, do you like that? Would you like to see kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms? What would you like to see? A shed, a garage, whatever? I would love to know, because this is a really fun series to do. I love demonstrating all the possibilities that you can do with Minecraft in just a very small space. So, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and if you're listening to my voice, that means you've made it to the end of the video, which I am eternally grateful for. Thank you very much. Goodbye! Also, before I go, I will be attending a couple of conventions in March in a couple of months' time. First one is in Ireland, and it is my invention that will be in Meath. So if I have any Irish fans out there, I will be attending that event, and Insomnia towards the end of March. So more info to come on those. Goodbye again.